Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel now. I hope everybody's staying nice and healthy. I had to pause on my videos cause I couldn't find no more flour at the store. But now I'm back, so I hope you watch this video. Sorry, excuse that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off with my 3 8-inch layers here. We're going to stack them and fill them with some lemon buttercream, y'all. I did add some a bunch of lemon zest into my buttercream that's going in between the layers because I really like that nice pop of lemon in my flavoring, especially in the filling of the cake. But I did not do the zest on the outer layer of the buttercream because I didn't want to see no chunks in my buttercream. So I went ahead and spread it on out. You want to You want to go ahead and give your cake a crumb coat, okay? Make sure them crumbs are stuck and pressed and put into place so that they ain't popping out when you don't want them to be popping out, okay? So give it a crumb coat, put it in the fridge, let it set up. While you're doing that, work on your lemons. Now, I did slice some lemons. I sliced them here, there, everywhere, a little bit thin, a little bit thick. I did some halves and I did some wholes. Then you want to let them dry on a paper towel. Otherwise, you will be having a problem with them sticking because they'll be too wet and soppy and they'll be just falling right off that buttercream. So let them dry, press them down with a paper towel, get out some of that juice and just wait a couple seconds. Be patient, not a couple seconds, more like an hour or two. Let them dry out a little bit, okay? While you're doing that, go ahead and get ready to prep. So I did one more little thin coat of buttercream in the middle of this cake, and then I began sticking my lemon slices on. So when you stick them on, you do want to use a little bit of buttercream. If you're having a little bit of trouble, place them in the fridge so that way they will be glued to the cake as well. When you start your fault line of this cake, you want to go ahead and just put it, you can take it and put it directly on your offset spatula and plop it onto the cake. I find it's a lot easier to go ahead and put it in a piping bag and then go ahead and squiggly swoggly and all around and dip it up and dip it down and then just spread it with your bench scraper. So my bench scraper was a little bit on the shorter side, which is totally fine. If you have a long one, that's just saves you a little bit of time. And I went ahead and I straightened out the bottom fault line. Then I went ahead and smoothed the top fault line. Now, if you're having some problems with a little bit of bubbles or imperfections, just add a little bit more buttercream. You can also easily scrape a little bit away off the lemons if you want to see more lemon on your fault line. And for this final smooth, I highly suggest putting your bench scraper under some super hot water, drying it off, and then giving it another couple passes. This will help melt that buttercream down and make a nice smooth finish. Once you're done with that, I went ahead and did this nice little cute swirly design. You just kind of start in the middle and slowly pull it back while you're turning your cake at the same time. I'm not going to be putting too much on the top, just a flower arrangement and a topper and a little bit of drip around the edges, so I wanted a nice little cute look. Now, I did feel like this cake needed a little bit of pop of gold on here, so when you're doing your gold, depending on the design you want, you do want to add a little bit more vodka, but for this specific one, because I didn't want to be putting it on the fault line and dripping down, then you have a mess, and it's a really big pain in the butt to get gold off of your cake, especially a white cake. So you want it to be a little bit more on the pasty side, and then go ahead and just dab it on sideways with your paintbrush. I did this to the top and the bottom of the fault line. Now, I wanted to add some drip, give it a little bit more of that yellow color in. Now, you can use yellow candy melts, or you can use white candy melts with your heavy cream, and then add a little bit of yellow gel, I cannot talk today, y'all. A little bit of gel dye to that ganache, and then just make sure you do a test drip on the back of your cake. Make sure your ganache is dripping right. Now for this, I didn't want it to go too far down, so as soon as I saw that drip start to get a little bit closer to where I wanted it to be, I plopped my cake in the fridge so it would hurry up and set up the ganache so it wouldn't hit my fault line. If your ganache is too hot, leave it sitting out for a couple minutes to cool off a little bit. If it's too cold, plop it in the microwave for just 2 or 3 seconds, and then it should be good to go. Add your flower arrangement. I wanted to add a little bit of green on here to make it, a little bit more pop of color, and my happy birthday topper. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I finished off my cake with 2 lemon slices and some fresh zest on top. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.